you have to be responsible about what you're doing, but at the end of the day, I mean, you can't go out and not do something because you find somebody might find this offensive. I think as long as you believe that it's not offensive, and also when you're making a film, it's a collaborative effort. There are lots of other people who come in, who read the script, get involved in making of the film, and if it would bother somebody, they would turn around and tell you, like, okay, this is something which you're treading, and then you can hear it. But I don't think you can start, because there is something in every film which bothers somebody. Today's date and time, they just get up because they want a platform to be heard, and they know with social media there, if I say something which is controversial, people will pick it up. So I think what we need to start learning is ignoring such people who come up to that platform to only make some noise.
See, and also the other thing, in all fairness, I mean, if you think about it, films are the only art form in this country that have to go through a board to be able to release. Whether you write a book, you create a song, you draw art. I mean, there's no sense of board, or TV or advertising.
Self-regulated.
It's self-regulated. You don't go through any board that tells you aise mat karo, ye nikal do, wo dal do, ye word. They don't have that here. So we have that process. So once we go through that process, then after that, beyond that one is, let's give them credit, that they also know, like they also still representing society only. Now, if those people also, if they are saying, bilkul sahi hai, this is a good film, it's got a great message, please put it out. Now, beyond that, if somebody feels like, what can I do here? The thing is, it's become like a rating thing, which I think is fair. It's up to you as the producer then what rating you want. Like if you're okay to go with an adult certificate for something, then they'll say, acha, aapko rakhna hai, aap rakh lo yaar, you'll get an adult certificate, then you'll have to decide whether my audience becomes limited. Yeah, so that's what it is. So I mean, I think it's arrived at a good place, as far as becoming more about a rating system than really about somebody who's sitting there with scissors trying to have a go at your film. So that's a nice place to be. But I feel that since it's an extension of the I&B ministry for you, that there has to be a certain security and a certain protection that filmmakers feel once they go through this process. That my film will now be allowed to be screened in a way because it's been approved by people who are in a position to have approved it and rated it for an audience that is mature enough to understand the message within it. See, the thing is, if you take anything out of context, like if you just say that, acha, why is it like this? I think it's important anyone is allowed to have an informed point of view. The fact is that if you have a point of view after you see the film and then you want to have a debate about it, by all means we must. At the end of the day, we've done some work. We have to represent our work, and if you have questions, we have to answer those questions. But the fact is, I cannot answer a question to somebody who's just picking something out just randomly without having experienced it, what the story is about, why have they done it, what does it lead to, what is the larger message in them having done it, was it important, was it not. When you see the film, it answers itself. So it's not about that. If you stop on every single line or every single thought that you have, yaar, wo kya samjhenge, how will you create anything? It's not possible to do it. It's the sum of everything. The sum of all parts has to mean something. So if that is making sense to you, then your opinion needs to be based on that and not on just something that you pick out way in advance and say, why? It's not a film that really talks about the questioning of religion. It doesn't question religion. It questions on some level extremist belief, and how a certain segment within, whether you call it the fanatical fringe, you call it the fundamentals, whatever you want to call them, there are many words for them. What is it about them that makes them feel that they will find a solution through violence, and how they manage to fill young people's heads with this. And the thing is that unfortunately, because of whatever the circumstances are within that person's life who gets inducted into this kind of belief, it would be nice if instead of thinking of violence as the answer, they thought of other ways of being able to engage and find solutions, and that's really what the film is.
Hi, this is Faridun Shahryar. For the most interesting celebrity interviews, do subscribe to Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.